guys, so today I'm just gonna be making a really simple, a little bit more masculine, maybe for a boy. And this is just a really simple card. As you see here, I'm starting off, it's a really lightweight gray cardstock. Now, in the end of my card, it did slightly warp, so just to give you a heads up, if you want to go ahead and use a little bit thicker cardstock, I know the Simon Says stamp cardstocks are really good for that, and you can go ahead and maybe try to use those. Now, as you see here, I have this is the tweed background stamp from Hero Arts. I really like it. I just went ahead and on that this gray cardstock piece, I just went ahead, stamped it in Versamark Dazzle, and then went ahead and used, it's from the Avery Elle custom panels. There's these 2 hexagon dies, and I just went ahead and, or there's 3 in the set, but I'm just using the 2, and I went ahead and cut out all these different sizes or out of different papers, these hexagon dies, and then I just went ahead and got some of those really small wood veneers from Studio Calico as well to mix in with these other die cut pieces. Now, as you see here, I have all these cut pieces already. I didn't think that it would interest you in me showing cutting them and everything. So now, as you see here, this is what's gonna take the longest part, is just going ahead and setting out all the pieces and where you want them. Now, because they are hexagon shapes, I'm able to match them up no matter what size they are. It just takes a little bit of time deciding what colors next to each other and just the whole pattern of it all. Now, as you see here, I went ahead and I laid it out how I want it to be glued down. Now I'm taking my quick stick tool and I'm going ahead and adding a little bit of, this is the Tombow aqua glue on the back side of it, and then going ahead and I'm adhering that down. And the good thing about that is that I'm able to get the placement that I had before by using the quick stick tool and being really careful about lining it up again. Now, as you see here, I'm just gonna slowly work my way across and do all of the pieces. Now, you can see there that there's different sizes, and it really doesn't matter. As long as you lay it out right, you can do whatever you want. Now, another thing that I would change is that with the aqua glue from Tombow, and I put that little dot in the middle, the bad thing about it is in the end it did end up warping because of all this liquid glue. Now, usually that doesn't happen if you have a kind of decent thicker card base. Now, again, this card base is really thin, so you might want to go ahead and try to use a thicker one. I think this might be around, say, 40 to 50 pounds. It's not very thick, maybe even 60, but still it's not thick enough that it really worked out well. Now, as you see here, I cut out this thank you die. This one's from Elizabeth Crafts Designs. It's just a really simple thank you die. I really like using it for nice and simple thank you cards. Now, I went ahead and I die cut that out of that blue paper that I used on my card as well. As you see on the left, it's a really nice soft blue with a grid. Now, as you see here, this is the Simon Says stamp white cardstock. Now, sometimes I use it for die cutting, say with different delicate dies I do with the Simon Says stamp cardstock, just because it's so thick that it gives a really nice, easy, nice look to the card. So I just die cut that white 2 times and put that blue piece on top, so it has 3 layers, and it's really nice. It gives the right amount of thickness, and it's just really nice. Now I'm using the multi-matte medium, and I'm using that on this word just because of the reason that, because multi-matte medium, the good thing is that if the glue oozes out, that it won't show up on your card. So I'm easily able to dot some little glue dots on, using this multi-matte medium on the back, and that makes it so that it's stuck down really well. It's really strong. It can just as strong as glossy accents, and at the same time have that matte finish, so that if any of it oozes out, because it's so thin and so delicate, this die, that it would easily not be seen. Now I'm just gonna hear both of the word down, so thank you. And then as well, I'm gonna go ahead and take my glossy accents now and go ahead and put that over the entire word or both words. And that's the good, glossy accents has a really nice glossy shine. And this is something that this is something that for a boy's card it wouldn't matter. The glossy accents is a really nice accent. At the same time, it's not too strong that it looks kind of more girly, like if it was with a really strong glitter or something. So I'm just adding that on, and then I'm gonna go ahead and continue on the rest of the card. Now this is just a really simple technique. As you see here, the glossy accents, the good thing is that the tip is really thin. So the good thing about that is you're able to put the glue exactly where you want it, and it's really good. Now also, if you get anywhere, because this is so thin and so delicate, thank you, if you get anywhere that it starts to kind of ooze off, then you can go ahead and, I'm using a little needle, and then you can go ahead and lift that glue up. Also, if in certain areas it tends to kind of layer on top of itself and become thick in certain areas, and where it's really thin and delicate, like maybe the long part of the T or the K, it seems to be really thin. So you can go ahead and use your needle and really spread the glossy accents around to get a really nice look. Then after that, I'm going ahead and taking, this is Distressed Stickles in the clear rock candy. Now this is something that's going to give a nice shimmer without it being too much again. So this is, of course it is a clear rock candy, so it's not going to give any kind of iridescent shine or anything that's going to be a little bit too much for this simple card. Then after that, I'm just putting it on kind of thinner layer, and that's pretty much done. Now also, because I put those little hexagons and I only put the glue right in the middle, because I ended up putting this Distressed Stickles, it did tend to curl up around the edges, so I did have to add a little bit more glue around the edges and then go ahead and put something heavy on top so that it really got adhered to the paper really well. Now as you see here, it's now totally dry, everything's dry, gives a really different look. The glossy accents is really nice and shiny, and as you see, the clear rock candy dried and it's a really nice shimmer and it's really subtle. Now as you see here, you see how it warped the card, the bottom of the card warped. Now again, you can either use a thicker piece of cardstock or something else next time. As you see, I just added some white cardstock in the inside, added a few different hexagon shapes, and this is my finished simple card. So please visit my blog at micahscrafts.blogspot.com. I'll leave a link below. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe, please leave your comments below, and have a great day. Bye.